Yep, VO and Bright Eyes. Uh-oh.
What did he post?
I don't know, but I'm going to burn down my place of employment. I'm not sure. Oh, interesting.
So investigators continuing to question him and those who know him as firefighters slowly extinguish this massive fire. Now, the good news is they think they've got this contained within the concrete warehouse walls. No surrounding structures, they say, or homes are threatened. Ontario PD also working right now to confirm whether that potential suspect who is now under arrest was also the employee who was missing early this morning before firefighters located him. What's burning is the Kimberly-Clark warehouse. It produces paper products, and that is what has continued to fuel this fire. Fire crews trimming in water from the outside as they continue this fight, essentially battling a fire in a 1.2 million square foot concrete box here. The firefighters, they arrived right around 12:30 this morning. The fire department says the warehouse was open, was running at that time. There were about 20 employees inside. They do say, fortunately, nobody was injured in this. No employees, no firefighters. Originally, firefighters thought the warehouse's sprinkler system would effectively battle the fire, but because of all that fire fuel inside, all those paper products produced here, it exploded, and we did see a 6-alarm fire response. That means a ton of resources. And for context, a 30-year veteran firefighter here says this is the only 6-alarm fire he has ever responded to in all his years on the force. Between 500 and 1,000 gallons of water per minute was delivered on each of those ladders. So also very fortunate, we are told that there is a new system of hydrants here, and it was able to provide all that water and keep this under control. So the firefighters telling us contained. The investigation into what started all of this is still very much underway. And folks who live in the area are being urged to just avoid this stretch for now. They have closed down a number of streets. If you are sensitive to smoke, to keep those windows closed. Back to you.
And I'm assignment manager Mark Liu here at the desk. We have just obtained some new video from the Ontario Fire Department that shows the damage inside that massive 1.2 million square foot warehouse. Take a look at this video. They just posted it. You can see all that's left here is the scaffolding and parts of basically shelves and the stocking area of this massive Kimberly-Clark paper warehouse. You can see almost nothing is left here. There is still some very large ladders with hose pipes on the top. And this was also shot by Ontario Fire Department. You can see the damage on the east side of this building where it was all loading docks for about 1,800 feet from one end of this massive warehouse to the other. Now, while that 3-story high, I should say, concrete wall essentially contained the fire to within that warehouse this morning as this fire raged for more than 7 hours, the fire did exit through those loading bays and ended up igniting all of these big rig cargo containers on fire. Lots of damage, and this is video from SkyCal shot just about an hour ago that shows a complete roof collapse of all 1.2 million square feet of this warehouse here. It's a fairly new building built between 2019 and 2021, right at the center of a commercial complex in Ontario. Come out to my screen. I'm going to show you what that looks like here on a map on my computer screen. If we can go to that, I'll show you just how large this commercial complex is right here. It's this warehouse on the north side that burned. And you can see it's basically right next to a very large neighborhood. Now, this warehouse is about 1,800 feet, as I mentioned, on this side and about 800 feet on this side. Firefighters attacked it from all sides, but they were very concerned about the people who were living in this neighborhood. They were afraid of embers that were jumping over. Thankfully, they were able to contain that fire strictly into the warehouse. They are still mopping up some of those hot spots, but as you saw, they were able to get inside to shoot that video. Coming back out here to me, there'll be a very long arson investigation into exactly what and how this fire started. But as Cara had mentioned, there is someone now in custody who they are looking at as possibly the arson suspect here. We're going to keep following this and let you know how that turns out. Until then, I'll send it back to you. Okay, good. Oh no. No mic. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh.
Even ahead of the president's deadline for Iran tonight, a U.S. official confirms to CBS News there have been strikes overnight on Carb Island military target, a vital location for Iran's oil export. The official says the strikes did not target oil infrastructure.
We're not going to strike energy and infrastructure targets until the Iranians either make a proposal that we can get behind or don't make a proposal.
Vice President J.D. Vance, speaking during a trip to Hungary, said there will be a lot of negotiation between now and the president's deadline.
If the Iranians don't come to table and they stay committed to terrorism, to terrorizing their neighbors, not just Israel, but of course their Arab neighbors too, then the economic situation in Iran is going to continue to be very, very bad, and frankly, it will probably get worse.
President Trump, in his most threatening social media post yet, warned a whole civilization will die tonight, adding that he doesn't want that to happen, but it probably will. The president's post also said maybe something, quote, revolutionarily wonderful can happen.
Revolutionarily wonderful? Okay. Hello, everyone. I've got to put together a big piece for 10:30, so I don't have a lot of time to talk. Let me do this real quick. Hello. Yes, I am. Yeah, and I can't say that. Yeah, right. I'm not. This is not fair. This is like I'm basically one arm tied behind my back. Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. I was like, my heart broke when I saw that. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. I know, I know, I know, I know. It was, I know. I was like, and I was like, that was also like the no, 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 no. I know. I know. I know. I know. Oh yeah. Yep. I know. I was like, I actually looked at it briefly. I'm like, that all makes sense. That all looks really good. So, look at the lines. Yeah. Oh well. I don't remember. I can't remember the last time. I might have been off. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was not here, but that is bad. So yeah. Okay. All right. I got to put together this wrap at 10:30 here because I got to do the whole nuts and bolts things. So, okay. Goodbye. Okay.
It's important for us, for educators, to retire with dignity and to be able to afford, keep their homes and not have to take jobs post-retirement. LA Unified, be reasonable. Give them more than what you're offering. UTLA, be reasonable. Don't ask for so much. So, community groups are urging both sides to come
especially, they say, for vulnerable students, such as those from Latino and indigenous families. There is still a huge fear of immigration enforcement in a lot of these LAUSD communities, and the schools, these campuses, they say, are a lifeline for a lot of these families. And so there is a meeting set for tomorrow, according to the UTLA, between the union and the district. We'll let you know what comes of it. Reporting live in downtown LA, Rick Montanez, CBS LA.
And we're at a public high school in a Willowbrook.
You know what I'm gonna do?
They're getting ready to graduate in just a couple months, and many of them are going to be heading to a UC school. We'll explain what made them so successful when it comes to college acceptance rates.
Oh, I know. Massive. Arson. So 30. This again. Okay. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. What did Cara say about this?
3 years of a foreign language. We also offer over 25 AP courses for non-Hispanics. And so they come out competitively eligible.
Okay, everyone, how are you? It was a big fire this morning, pretty wild, destroyed. I think that's got to be one of the largest warehouses I've ever seen destroyed by a fire. 1.2 million square feet, total roof collapse, end-to-end fire. Pretty remarkable that the 3-story high concrete walls basically held and made sure that the fire did not spread to the neighborhood to the east. It also did not spread to any of the other commercial buildings in the area. They're all super mega warehouses. This particular Kimberly-Clark warehouse, the name of the company, Kimberly-Clark, they make paper products, was basically filled with paper products, it sounds like, from end to end. It was paper towels, facial tissue, toilet paper, all kinds of, napkins, all kinds of things that Kimberly-Clark makes, essentially a paper distributor. So, huge amount of fuel, like the perfect fuel for an enormous hot fire. The only thing would have been worse would have been a charcoal factory. It seems this is all paper products and like cardboard and paper and stuff like that. So very bad air quality, lots of soot. Nothing toxic though. That's the thing. It's essentially burning paper. So, a lot of times you're always concerned about when you see massive warehouses like this, is it plastics? Is it synthetic compounds, oil, electronic equipment? Electronic equipment has so many heavy metals that get vaporized when they burn and it goes up into the air, arsenic or platinums or anything that's plastic and electronics. There was not a lot of that in this warehouse. It was mostly paper. So, but unfortunately, this is a titanic loss for whoever, I don't know if Kimberly-Clark rents this property or if they own it or whoever owns it. I mean, this is a total loss. And it's fairly new. Looking at Google Street View, it looks like this was built between 2019 and 2021. And so, thankfully, no injuries. But unfortunately, it does appear that this is an arson, which is really unfortunate. One person in custody, sounds like it's an employee, according to Cars reporting, who may have made social media posts about something that the firefighters and detectives are looking at relating to this fire. We don't know really much about this employee other than it's the man. But that person is in custody by Ontario PD. Detectives are talking to that person. But yeah, thankfully no injuries. But that's a pretty wild story. SkyCal, interesting point. SkyCal could see these flames from 14 miles away. 14 miles. That is a huge fire. That's like Palisades or Eaton fire level brightness. Because I remember when we would launch from Van Nuys to go cover those fires in January of last year, we could see like the glow from Van Nuys Airport to the south for the Palisades, and it didn't take long to see the glow to the east from Eaton fire, and that's about 20 miles. So this was a huge fire to be sure. Anyway, Cara is done for the day on this, so they're going to have me wrap it up again at 10:30. So I put together a little video that she had cut and I had cut, and that's what we're going to do with that. Yeah. So there we go. Didn't really have much other news this morning. I mean, other things seemed to pale in comparison to that. There was a couple of other crimey stories we had, but nothing like this one for sure. Now, let's see. Let me check my email real quick. What do we got going on here? I have 2,145 unread emails from being gone for 3 days. That's too much. Oh, what is this? Man. Why is my email so mega slow?
Finally got it back. This is the higher dose red light therapy hack.
Check that out, Oz.
So this is FDA cleared for hair growth. 2025 Vogue winner of the best red light therapy soak into the scalp and penetrate into the hair follicle. This actually increases circulation, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to your hair follicles that are lazy or dormant.
The control room just said, John Tyler just said I need 3 of these.
Okay, but you shave your hair voluntarily.
I do.
But for people who have hair loss, my mother started experiencing it 10 years ago. It can be for a variety of reasons. It is devastating. It affects our self-esteem. We try all these invasive things. This you do in 10 minutes a day. In just 4 months, you're going to start to see new growth. And I have to tell you, I get to test things at home.
Yeah, wow.
Do you see this?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
this is the benefit that you get from wearing it. Again, 10 minutes a day. It's cordless. It's a cute looking.
Okay.
For this, for myself to get a luscious head of hair, Patrick Dempsey.
$336.75, and right now you're saving over $110. It sells out every time. CVS deals right now. Grab it now.
To get this deal and more, scan the QR code at the top of your screen or head to cbsdeals.com to start shopping now.
What? Oh no. Pursuit, guys. There's a pursuit. Chat. My colleague Annette, Annette on the desk out in the newsroom heard it. LAPD Northeast Division. Oh boy, oh boy. Where's Chopper in reference to that? Let's see. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Nope, that's not us. That's not us. Where are we? Oh, he just landed. Arrgh! Okay. Okay, LAPD Northeast. Let's find this. LAPD Highland Park domestic violence suspect. Oh, crapo. Okay. Hold on. I'm listening to radio traffic. Stand by.
Houston copy. Proceed on the other side.
This extraordinary view is Earth-set, our planet dropping below the lunar horizon.
It's a privilege to witness you carrying the fire across our farthest reach. Thank you. Godspeed.
All communication was also about to drop. Pilot Victor Glover.
To all of you down there on Earth and around Earth, we love you.
For 40 minutes, nothing.
This pursuit might be over. Oh no, he's still moving.
To each other. Then came Earthrise, the planet reappearing above the
Or is he getting out of there?
Mission Control could hear their astronauts again.
And it is so great to hear from Earth again.
And tell Earth what that experience was like, especially when the questions came during a congratulatory call from President Trump.
What was your feeling when you had no communication? A little bit different, perhaps. I said a little prayer, but then I had to keep
rolling. I was actually recording scientific observations of the far side of the moon. We were busy up here working really hard, and I must say, it was actually quite nice.
Earlier, the crew proposed naming 2 lunar craters, one poignantly for Commander Reed Wiseman's late wife, Carol. She died of cancer in 2020. Mission control was hushed. The crew hugged. It was a day in space that ran a range of emotions and otherworldly experiences.
The surprise of the day, we just came out of an eclipse, and the entire dark moon, about that big, right out the window that we were watching, we could see the corona of the sun, and then we could see the planet train line up, and all of us commented how excited we are to watch this nation and this planet become a 2-planet species.
The entire lunar flyby of the backside took about 7 hours. Today, the crew is into some science, some manual flying, and some deserved downtime. Mark Liu, CBS News, Houston.
Dude, this is hot. This sounds like a legit pursuit, guys. This pursuit sounds
good morning. How incredible is that Irvine Choir? We are here in the Performing Arts Center. Can we just show a view of the Performing Arts Center? It is absolutely gorgeous in here. We're showcasing the choir, the drama, and also this incredible jazz band. Can we get a preview, you guys? Take it away.
They're going to bail on this pursuit. Oh my God, they're going to let this guy go. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot, I don't have video. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh, shoot. My video's not in. I just sent it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Video. Thanks, Amber. A massive fire at a warehouse in Ontario kept firefighters busy for hours this morning. It is still burning, and they are finally getting a handle on it, but a suspect now in custody, possibly for arson of this warehouse. Let me show you some of the incredible video from this morning. This is the Kimberly-Clark paper warehouse in Ontario at Hellman and Merrill Avenue. Now, it was just after 12:30 this morning that firefighters responded here for the report of light smoke inside of the structure. Now, this is a 1.2 million square foot warehouse. When arriving Ontario, firefighters actually went inside. They say, yeah, we smell something is burning in here. They had to look for that fire. When they found it, they said, we got to make a tactical retreat right now. This fire is spreading very, very fast. This is aerials from SkyCal. You can see the huge amount of smoke that has gone up. It looks like this 1.2 million square foot warehouse is going to be a complete loss. Total roof collapse from end to end. It's mostly paper products in there, things like paper towels, napkins, toilet paper, things of that nature. Now, Ontario PD say they now have one male employee in custody on suspicion of arson. A corporal with the Ontario Police Department just told our reporter Cara Finstrom at the scene that Ontario PD is looking at some social media posts apparently made by this arson suspect that may relate to this fire and how it started. But you can see the massive damage done here. Amazingly, no injuries in this fire, but lots of cargo containers here on the east side of the building were also damaged by fire that came out of those loading bay doors. But firefighters say those 3-story tall concrete walls that make up the outside of this building kept the fire at bay. It did not spread to the surrounding neighborhood. Now they are still in a defensive mode firefight to get the last of these hot spots cleaned up, and then the arson investigation inside of that structure can begin. That's it here from the desk. I'll send it back to you. Yep. Oh my God, I totally forgot. I got tracked. Okay. Are we near this? Where did air? It's the same. Oh. Okay. Hi, okay. I'm listening to radio traffic that's about 6 minutes behind. I'm trying to figure out, yeah, oh, this is probably the vehicle. Now there's no lights and sirens behind him, I don't think, but the air unit is overhead. Hold on, I'm still listening here. What the watch commander keeps, hold on. No felony crime, only misdemeanor crime. That sounds like they may want to bail on this. He's taking off again, I know, because the air unit is still overhead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Driving fans in Southern California, they live for this.
All right, they're saying discontinue the pursuit, but I don't know if that means drop the air unit too. But there's definitely no lights and sirens behind this guy. Oh, wait, he's opening the door. What's he? Oh, he's opening the door in the middle of. Oh, he's opening the trunk. Please do not get a gun. Please do not get a gun. So they've had, apparently I just heard on the radio, they've had 2 radio calls about domestic violence. That looks like water. Okay, that's a beer. Beer. It's beers. It's beers. It looks like bottles of beer. Maybe, I don't know. It looked like bottles with yellow liquid in it, so that's probably beer. Alcohol. Alcohols, yes. He got 4 alcohols out of the back. He opened the trunk and got 4. Right, 4 alcohols. Yeah. Did I write a bad super? I did? Yeah. Uh-huh. It was? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Right, that makes sense. Okay. I'm sorry. My fault. Let me see. Okay, so what are we doing with this guy? I mean, this is a judgment. To me, and now, well, there we go. We just saw, we ran a stop sign. I don't know. And he ran a stop sign. I know. This is okay, another stop sign run. Oh, I don't know what to do here. Especially because they said discontinue the pursuit. It's not but the air unit is still following. I'm trying to catch up to let's see. Who do we have overhead? We're the only ones overhead right now. But I thought I saw, it looks like Channel 5 is up and 7 is up. They're going east. I think they're going to the fire. I thought I saw N71HD also up. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe not. Oh man, see, this is the kind of business that is like, But there's nobody chasing him. There's nobody behind him. So the air unit is following this continuously and calling it like it's a pursuit, but it's not. But this air commander is very invested in this. I can just tell. I believe the air commander wants this to be a lights and sirens pursuit. It seems like, but it sounds like the watch commander told him, like, we don't have a felony crime here, and because of the erratic driving, we're not going to pursue. I don't know.
This is almost exactly where it started. So it started at Avenue 20 and Broadway. We're at Avenue 18 and Broadway. Yeah. But this is almost exactly where it started. Avenue 20 and Broadway. And now we're at Avenue 18 and Broadway. This is probably his neighborhood. Yeah. And we've seen that before with pursuits. Oh, I don't know, Jess. I guess. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll watch it. Call me right away if like someone decides we want to take it or just someone say in the. I'm ready. Yeah. Good. Dad'll know. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well, chat. It's not really a pursuit. It's just the air unit following this guy. So.
2024 was the runs last year.
We were done with it. It was just a full-time job, and it got too big that I couldn't do all the work that it needed to be done.
Recently, the couple was approached by Vets in Valor, a Ventura County Veteran Service nonprofit.
Hey, we think this is an event that really needs to happen again.
Our community is really built around this type of thing.
Frank Tomlinson's son is a U.S. Marine. And Alex Ramirez.
I lost my best friend 16 years ago, and he's still in action.
Uh-oh.
With Alex and Frank of Vets and Valor on board, the Van Molts have the help they need and are re-energized to restart their mission. The 2026 run is being planned for August.
We want to help not just support this, but also make it bigger.
We're just lucky to have them because this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for them.
Guys, why are we fighting, guys? Oh, that's right. We're here for Romeo and Juliet, where we're going to see these incredible performance from the drama crew, as well as the choir and the jazz band. So stay tuned.
Jesus.
Back to the break.
Yes. What did he say? Oh man, what did that watch commander just say? It sounded like the watch commander maybe said, "We will re-engage." Oh, the radio traffic was broken. I couldn't hear it. He said something to the air commander. The air unit didn't say anything else. This guy is apparently. Oh. Okay. What did he just say? Shoot. Hollenbeck. Where's Hollenbeck? 77th, Southeast, Olympic, Hollenbeck. Oh, we might be in pursuit again. I know, it looks, it's almost, I don't see lights and sirens on this, but they might be getting ready here. All right, bye. Might be you and me, Rach.
What?
So, we got a domestic violence restraining order suspect in a white Honda that has violated the restraining order 3 times today by going to the victim's home. It sounds like this is a man who has gone to a home 3 times, and that has violated a restraining order. I think he's probably going to his girlfriend's home. I don't know, right? So the third time, the air unit caught him and said, I need officers behind this guy to take him into custody. Then that started the pursuit. But then the watch commander was like, this is erratic driving. It's technically a misdemeanor violation of a restraining order, even though it's 3 times. So they're like, we're going to back off. But now the watch commander is saying, well, this guy's driving erratically, and he seems to be going back to the house again a 4th time. So we may need to re-engage the pursuit. That's where we're at right now, you and me. The manager is deciding if we're going to do this here.
Thanks for the heads up.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, so Amy, what we're looking at here is a white Honda Accord 2018 with a man behind the wheel here. LAPD has been on and off in pursuit of this vehicle for about the last 30 to 45 minutes. The want on the driver is misdemeanor domestic violence restraining order violation, but LAPD says that this driver has violated that restraining order 3 times today by going by a home in the Lincoln Heights area on Avenue 22. Now, this driver apparently was spotted violating that restraining order by Air 3, which is the LAPD air unit. They actually called for units to take that driver into custody. LAPD Northeast Division units did try and light this car up, lights and sirens. Unfortunately, the driver did not want to comply, and that is when the pursuit started. This driver has been heading around the areas of, let me check my map here, it's basically the areas of Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, Chinatown, Union Station. Now we are heading into the Westlake area. There's been some very erratic driving on the part of this driver. We've seen him stop and go, blow through stop signs, go on the wrong side of the road. At one point, he got out of the car like he is doing now. He got something out of his trunk. It appeared to be bottles of liquid of some kind, perhaps bottles of beer, we don't know, and then put them in the front seat of the car and then kept going again. Now, there doesn't appear to be anybody else in this car right now, and there's no information about this driver being armed, but this person has apparently, according to LAPD, the air unit of the watch commander, done a violation of some kind of a domestic violence restraining order as many as 3 times today alone, which is why that is very concerning on the part of the LAPD, as apparently this driver has sort of been in the area of the victim of that domestic violence restraining order. So they are concerned that they may try and go back again. Now we're seeing wrong side of the road here at Lucas and Wilshire in the Westlake area. This is just another civilian that was trying to make a turn there. And this driver, this pursuit driver on the wrong side of the road with really no place to go on this very tight street, they have to back up. Now, there's currently no lights and sirens behind this car. There was an LAPD Central Division unit there. That very briefly was lights and sirens, but now they have backed off as well. The watch commanders of 3 different LAPD divisions, Hollenbeck, which is the East LA area, Northeast Division, which is sort of the Lincoln Heights area, the Leisure Park area, and now Central Division, which is downtown, have all been partially involved in this pursuit as the driver continues to evade and drive very erratically. This morning, again, the want on that driver is a domestic violence restraining order.
Yeah, when you watch this, obviously starting out as a tracking, when they're actually pursuing them, obviously you'll see the lights and sirens, the cop cars right behind them. But, I mean, Mark, we've been watching this person driving erratically. This is a very busy area in the Westlake area. Pedestrians right there. There was almost that traffic jam, but it makes you wonder how dangerous this person is, because if this person went back to a home that he was not supposed to go to 3 times, who knows if he's armed? Who knows what? Who knows? There could be someone else inside that vehicle.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising, though, that they're, chasing him, but they know exactly who this person is. So maybe that's why we don't see the cars right behind this.
There's a couple of things at play here. That could certainly be. They may know the identity of the suspect because it's a domestic violence restraining order. There is an LAPD unit with the victim of that domestic violence restraining order, the party involved in that restraining order, that is there. So if this person does return, there will be an LAPD unit there. And the other issue here is that these are misdemeanor violations of that restraining order, which usually LAPD would not engage in a reckless high-speed pursuit to try and take that person into custody. But this has happened 3 times today, which seems to indicate a pattern that could very likely put the victim of that domestic violence issue in jeopardy, because this person appears to be willfully violating that restraining order multiple times, or at least that's the allegation here. Now we are on the 110 North. That would take this person back into the area of that domestic violence restraining order issue. So LAPD very concerned about this driver, again, on the freeway now. Unclear if CHP is going to take this over. They have not really been a part of this yet. But the LAPD air unit now overhead tracking. There's actually there may be 2 LAPD air units in this area here as they track this driver northbound on the 110. Unclear if they're going to sort of head to the east, which would take them back. This is that moment on the right side of your screen where that driver got out of that white Honda Accord with dark tinted windows, opened the trunk, got what appeared to be bottles out of the trunk, and then put them in the passenger seat and then took off again. Here are some violations of that, the driver blowing through stop signs, occasionally going on the wrong side of the road, going around cars, dangerous driving. The air unit did tell the watch commander this is a very erratic driver, pulling a lot of stunts like that, squeezing in between cars, very dangerous. There's a lot of pedestrians out there as well. So a big concern for the LAPD this morning.
Absolutely. I'm curious what those bottles were in the first place. Is this alcohol that they were trying to not show? And then also, if they're tracking them, obviously the helicopters are above the choppers. They could hear that. So I'm sure they have some sort of idea that they are being followed and trying to do whatever it takes to get away. But I mean, people are getting ready to go to lunch. I mean, a lot of people are not working from home now, and the road's definitely staying a lot busier.
Yeah, this is just a super busy part of the metro area. This is the north part of downtown, right near the financial district there. It's near, now we're heading north near Stadium Way. This is right by Dodger Stadium. It's always congested here. It seems if you know any part of driving through the northern part of downtown LA, it's always congested. The streets are narrow here in the Elysian Park area, the Lincoln Heights area, and this is back where this pursuit all started. This pursuit started near Avenue 20 and Broadway. And this is sort of the neighborhood that this driver has now confined themselves to over the better part of an hour as this pursuit continues through these neighborhood streets here. Again, it's a male driver wanted for a domestic violence restraining order. As many as 3 times today that restraining order was violated. But the LAPD does have a unit with the victim if this driver attempts to make contact with that victim again.
We all know pursuits are dangerous wherever they are, but especially on these streets where you've got these intersections, you've got pedestrians. So certainly law enforcement prefers it to be on the highway, if at all. So everyone's heading in the same direction and you don't have people out there. But again, this is certainly never a good situation, and we're just hoping that this driver will pull over without any incidents happening. But so far, this person seems to be desperate to get away, stopping at a light, which is good, but certainly not pulling over for officers.
Yeah, this pursuit, this tracking incident continues. I am listening to some radio traffic. It does appear that the lights and sirens, the units with lights and sirens have fallen way back here. Just the air unit is tracking now. They are continuing to call out the streets to the watch commander. They are monitoring this. Command staff is monitoring this. They're hoping, like you had said, that this person pulls over or abandons the erratic driving or leaves the area. The great concern is that they continue to sort of float around this area. Again, Broadway and Avenue 20 in Lincoln Heights. This is exactly where the pursuit started just about 50 minutes ago. This is where Air 3, the LAPD air unit, actually called for backup and said, I've got a domestic violence restraining order suspect. I need lights and sirens on the ground to take this person into custody. It was right in this area. So again, this is another sort of anxious issue here for LAPD as to what this driver is going to do. They do have, as I mentioned, a unit with the victim. So it's unclear if this driver knows that or can see that or is waiting until that unit leaves. We just don't know. But they don't want this driver to make contact with that victim again, because that would be then a 4th violation of a domestic violence restraining order here.
Yeah, and watching this driver, it appears this driver doesn't know what they're doing either.
This is it.
Maybe they're going to surrender themselves, realizing, hey, I've had enough. I'm done. See if it stops. This is the first time we've seen interaction of nope. And
Was there a
going
spike
in
strip
reverse.
ahead of that?
I do not believe, but it said that that unit was shop 669. That was the unit that was there with the victim. So this person now has potentially made a fourth violation of that restraining order. And you could see that they backed up immediately when they saw that LAPD unit there. It looked like there were two officers out there on the sidewalk. So, this is exactly what LAPD did not want to happen. They did not want that person to go back to that home there. And because there was essentially, wrong side of the road. Again, very erratic driving. We don't see lights and sirens behind yet. But I'm going to listen to there's some radio traffic going on between the air unit and the watch commander. I'm going to listen to what they're talking about right now. Probably that incident that we just saw.
And when you see this kind of behavior, you know this is a desperate person willing to do just about anything. And, staying in this area, oftentimes it's because it's an area that they're familiar with and they might want to get out and run into a building. But in this case, it seems like this person's just trying to get close to that victim.
Whoever that person is. I mean, the fact that this has happened 4 times, obviously it's a call for help, and this person, is probably trying to figure out, where do I go? What do I do? We see this person stopping again. For whatever reason, they're reversing back into it. Maybe they see spike strips or potentially police units in the distance. But this all started just about, 20 minutes ago, and it's a tracking case. And you don't see a lot of the cop cars behind them because obviously it's daylight, and that could cause, more danger out there, and that's not what we want to see, especially on a Tuesday at almost 11 a.m.
Now, Amy, that's exactly right, Chris. And Amy, I think it was you that had mentioned possibly that there was a spike strip. You thought you saw a spike strip on the road in front of where that LAPD air unit, the LAPD ground unit was. You were correct. I heard the air unit say that the ground unit had set out a spike strip, but that the suspect then reversed and did not make contact with that strike strip. You got great eyes. I did not see that at all, but there was indeed a spike strip out there. Those LAPD units in shop 669 were ready for this suspect to come back and anticipated the possibility that that suspect may drive by that house where the victim of this domestic violence incident currently is. So this pursuit now essentially continues here in tracking mode as the driver goes through the Lincoln Heights area again. They have essentially confined themselves to this area of Lincoln Heights, north of the 10 and the 110.
Which one's live, the bigger one or the little one?
The smaller one. On the left-hand side of your screen is the live pictures. On the right side of your screen, the larger images. You see these are the highlights of essentially the dangerous behavior of this driver.
All right, well, it is the top of the hour, and we are following this police tracking of a reckless driver. Rachel Kim will pick it up from there, along with our assignment manager, Mark Liu.
All right, Amy and Chris, thank you so much. This is CBS LA at 11. We are live following a police tracking. Assignment manager Mark Liu has been following this since just after 10 this morning. Mark, I understand as you, Amy, and Chris were reporting all hour long, this is a suspect who has violated a restraining order 3 times so far today.
Yeah, potentially a 4th time as well, Rachel, in just the last about 10 minutes. Now, what we're seeing here for the first time, this driver getting out of the car for an extended period of time. He has opened the door a couple of times to get out. He got something out of his trunk a short while back. But now we are seeing this driver here, dark clothing, appears to be a man looking at the air units overhead. There's no lights and sirens currently behind this driver. LAPD has decided this is extremely dangerous. They didn't want their officers to go up close to this driver, hopefully giving this driver some room to sort of calm down, stop the erratic driving. But you can see very high speeds now here at Griffin and Avenue 33 in Lincoln Heights, 40, 50 miles an hour on these narrow streets. The original want on this driver was a domestic violence restraining order. An LAPD air unit called for backup to take this driver into custody after it apparently saw this driver violate that restraining order near a home in Lincoln Heights. The air unit later told the watch commander that they believe this driver may have violated that restraining order as many as 3 times today. Now, it's a misdemeanor violation of a domestic violence restraining order, but the air unit has described to LAPD command staff the very erratic driving that this driver is engaging in, sometimes on the wrong side of the road, blowing stop signs, very dangerous maneuvers, and has really suggested that they go into pursuit of this driver to take this person into custody as they continue to circle the neighborhood where this domestic violence victim resides. They are concerned that this driver may end up back at this property, essentially. Now, they do have an LAPD unit with the victim right now at that home, and this driver did go by and saw the LAPD units. They put out a spike strip for this driver, but the driver reversed and got out of there, did not make contact with the spike strips, and now continues to drive very erratically, basically in that same area, Rachel.
So, Mark, he's continuing to circle that area where he tried to go to when he is accused of breaking the restraining order. So he's trying to go back to that location, as you said, possibly up to a fourth time. And at one point you said, Mark, that police initially kind of pulled back, but they decided to re-engage because of all this erratic driving.
Yeah, there was extremely erratic driving during the earlier parts of the shoot. We're still seeing some of it now. Thankfully, no contact has been made. There have been no crashes and no injuries. But this driver has gone on the wrong side of the road multiple times, gone around vehicles, some really close calls where they try to squeeze through narrow spaces like he may be trying to do right here. He's made some erratic U-turns, been on the freeway a couple of times. This is an older neighborhood of the metro area of Los Angeles, so the streets are a little narrower than some of the newer parts of the city of LA. So it can be very, very dangerous to do high-speed maneuvers on the wrong side of the road. We've also seen the driver do this a couple of times, go into gas station areas. Now, it's unclear if that's because this person believes that they might have a moment to fill up or if they're low on gas. But at least one other time this driver has stopped at a gas station, but really hasn't stayed for longer than a few seconds. Now, unfortunately, they're underneath the awning there that we can't really see what they're doing right now, but SkyCal is going to make their best move here to get around to make sure that this driver, to see what they're doing. But it doesn't look like they have exited. There they are. They're right through the middle. Yeah, so they didn't stop to get out and get any gas or try to attempt anything like that. But now they're back on the move again here in the Mount Washington area.
Domestic violence restraining order, and you've counted at least 4 times that this suspect has violated that order by going back to that house.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this started just after 10 o'clock when there was a radio call that there was possibly a domestic violence restraining order in progress. The driver of this white Honda Accord, about a 2018 with very dark tinted windows, apparently had violated a restraining order by going near a property in the Lincoln Heights area. Now, the LAPD air unit said, look, I've got this suspect in sight. Let's get some officers behind this car to pull them over. The LAPD Northeast divisions did find that white Honda. They did light him up, lights and sirens, but the driver refused to comply. That started the pursuit. The watch commander asked the air unit, hey, what are we pursuing this guy for? And the air unit said, we've got a driver here who's violated a domestic violence restraining order. Not once, not twice, but as many as 3 times today. And Rachel, we think we may have seen a 4th violation with SkyCal, as just about in the last 20 minutes, this driver has gone back to that same property again in Lincoln Heights, drove by. LAPD had put a police officer, 2 police officers, and a patrol unit there to protect the victim. This suspect saw that and then drove away. There was attempted a spike strip, didn't work. And now basically what we are seeing here is an LAPD air unit tracking this driver through the streets of Lincoln Heights. Very erratic driving. It's been a hot lights and sirens pursuit at points. Now it's a tracking issue where they're in what's called surveillance mode. They're hoping that since there is no lights and sirens behind this driver, he will calm down, possibly get out of the vehicle. That would be the best situation. And we have seen that driver get out at least twice. Once to get something out of the trunk, another time to sort of what appeared to be maybe yelling at the air unit overhead, and then back in the car and the pursuit on again.
And Mark, we've seen this suspect kind of circle the same area over and over again. So it doesn't seem like he's venturing off into an unfamiliar territory, staying in that, you said it was, is it Silver Lake or what area?
Lincoln Heights. Yeah, the Lincoln Heights, Mount Washington area. This is the area to the east of Dodger Stadium on the east side of the LA River. Over in that area, north of, say, Boyle Heights, north of LA General Medical Center. It's a neighborhood where the driver apparently has basically gone in circles around. They've gone as far west as the Westlake area, but they've always returned back to this same neighborhood, Avenue 24 and Broadway. You see here in Lincoln Heights, this pursuit started at Avenue 20 and Broadway. So he's essentially 4 blocks from where this pursuit started. And again, this is very close to the property that this driver is not allowed to get close to. That's the domestic violence restraining order, to not approach a property here on Avenue 22. And again, it's just up the street. So LAPD very concerned. This is exactly where the driver is not supposed to go, according to a court order.
Mark, it seems that the suspect has come to a stop here at the intersection. You see one of the units, 2 officers standing outside the vehicle. What is going on here? Can we tell?
Well, that looks like one of the LAPD units there. I'm looking closely. That, I believe, is an LAPD Hollenbeck unit. These are the officers that are essentially there to make sure that this driver does not violate this domestic violence restraining order again today. And you can see they do not want this driver to go down this street. And looks like exactly what this driver is going to do. This is forcing a confrontation right now. This is very dangerous. As LAPD, you can see they're saying, do not go down this way. It looks like they may have firearms drawn right now. Hopefully this means that this driver is giving up. We may be seeing the end of this pursuit. Thankfully now, this driver being taken into custody. This, thankfully, is a good situation. That driver now complying, being taken into custody.
Yeah, it seems like, you know what, this is the 5th time now, the attempt. So maybe he's just giving up at this point, saying, okay, I'm done. And this has been going on for a good hour so far, Mark. And, you know, you said that the officers were with the victim the entire time, making sure that the suspect did not come back and potentially harm her in any way. Mark, do we know if this suspect was armed with anything in the car?
There was no information whatsoever about him being armed. There was no reports of seeing any weapons of any kind. This was simply, like I said, a violation of that restraining order. There could be restraining orders can have an area violation, can't come within 30 feet of a victim, 100 feet of a victim, whatever it may have been. And this suspect apparently did violate that, and that's what LAPD was concerned about. And then, of course, felony evading, that will be a charge here, and reckless driving. Those are charges very likely that the suspect will face as well today.
All right, well, an hour later, we are certainly glad to see that this has come to a peaceful end with no one getting injured. Again, that suspect in custody. Thank you so much, Mark. And we have more breaking news right now. Firefighters are trying to put out this massive warehouse fire. It's been burning all morning in Ontario. Well, now we've learned police have arrested an employee accused of starting that fire. CBS LA's Mark Liu has new information.
We've learned that investigators are now uncovering. Great job.
You too. Thanks, Rach. Yeah.
Current employee of the warehouse in this morning's fire. Here's what a corporal told us. What did you learn about his online activity?
So we have heard some information regarding him posting some stuff on the social media platforms. We can't speak to specifics of it.
Oh, okay. In custody. All right.
Possible information related to the investigation.
Possible information about a motive or being unhappy?
I wouldn't necessarily say unhappy, just possibly a motive or a reason as to why this arson occurred.
Investigators continuing to question him and those who know him as firefighters slowly extinguish this massive fire. The good news, they believe they've got this contained within the concrete warehouse